All right, everybody. So heads up, I am now recording this session. So, stay clothed. Don't scream and yell. Somebody just quit. But I guess they've had more than enough of that.
Too much stress.
I understand. If for some reason you do have to bounce out, this is being recorded so you can watch it after the fact and no harm, no foul. I hope everybody out there is staying healthy and staying separated. Seems like the more we hear on the news, there's a lot of people out there that are unfortunately passing away because of what's going on. So please be careful out there. You never know what could happen. So I want to talk with you guys about a couple of quick things and then open the floor up for questions. I have 10 things that I want to talk about, and then I'll open things up. And if we don't get to all of your questions, because there's so many of us, I'm going to open up a second session if we're running out and people feel dissatisfied. All right. So number one, I want to talk with you guys about the Pecha Kucha that is coming up. You should have all received an email that outlines who is in your small group. Now, the point of the Pecha Kucha is very quick and easy. You need to be able to tell somebody what's important about your design pieces in 20 seconds or less. Has anybody out there practiced at all, thought about it, done anything more than get stressed? Okay.
Watch the videos.
Yeah.
I've been watching videos. I don't feel like I can do much modification of my stuff because I haven't gotten my portfolio back.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Okay, understood. So right now, it looks like our class has about 20 of the portfolios by 5 o'clock today. We're completely finished.
Oh, wow.
So we have about 9 or 10 of them that are not. Usually this is a 2-week process, so we're hoping to kind of squeeze things out a little bit. Sarah White is asking everyone if they joined with what's going on.
Oh, I was asking Marley because she can't hear.
I see.
You can join with. You have to join with computer audio.
Oh.
I couldn't sign in the normal way. I actually had to register.
Oh,
and then
okay.
it did a bunch of weird stuff.
I see.
So I've put a note in on the panel there. And Marley, if there's a problem, you can watch this video later. Talking about Pecha Kucha, the Pecha Kucha presentation is not really going to adjust much based on what you guys are getting back from your portfolio, I hope. For the most part, portfolio reviews seem to be fairly positive, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But with any piece that you have already put into your portfolio, you should know what's good about it, just at your basic heart. And so being able to tell that to somebody shortly is very, very difficult. And so what I would suggest is putting together either a video where you talk about it in 20 seconds time, and then you speak along with it so you can play it while you're sitting around the house or, having some kind of a small down moment. Otherwise, a lot of people have made them in the past with PowerPoint, and you can set PowerPoint to move it slide forward every 20 seconds and make a loud noise so you know if you've talked too long or too little. I would try to set your sights on 15 seconds because that'll give you a chance to catch your breath. So first things first, when you're thinking about your Pecha Kucha, probably the easiest thing for you to do is to look at the final pieces that you've made for either a design assignment or put directly into your portfolio. If they're a PDF, bring them directly into Photoshop. If they're a JPEG, just take them directly into Photoshop. Save them down as a JPEG so they can have as much color and a small compression as you feel like you can get away with. Strip out all the text. There's not going to be enough time for anybody to read anything. You want them looking at the work and listening to you. So first thing, strip out all that type, change it to JPEG so that you can have that.
Okay.
Second thing that you want to think about is how can you condense what's important? Many times you may have been able to get away with 3 sentences of stuff. Hold on just a second here. I'm having this video call. If you could do that in your room, that'd be fine. Great. Anyway, so being able to strip that down into something that you can say, and it might be something like, the Think Big conference was for educators and designers to get together and come up with great STEM projects. They needed environmental pieces, print pieces, and things that you could purchase at the convention to fly the flag. Or whatever. Everybody's project will be different. There will be things that you might say, White Knight brand beverages needed to have a strong visual for their bottles, and it needed to be able to be seen from far away.
Okay.
You know, say whatever it is that you feel is going to work. So work on how you can condense your text down into 15 seconds. But also remember that you're going to film yourself. So you'll be able to fix it if you screw up, but you have to get it right at least once. And I know
So it's not like a live thing where we have to present to you on Zoom or something like that?
Nope.
Okay.
So I know over the last week or more, you've actually been looking that over. I know in week 12 you looked at it, in week 13 you looked at it. So I appreciate that.
Just making sure.
You're asking that question just in case.
Just
We're not doing any live material. Too much pressure. There's not enough
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Yeah, if it was in the classroom and you were nervous, you could stare right at me. You'd be like, damn, that dude's ugly. But you could look at somebody else, somebody that you cared about in the front row, and everybody else would kind of blend away. But if we were to do this live and you screwed up, you would be just beside yourself.
Gotcha.
So this is going to be totally open. You can use whatever software you want. If you want to use Premiere, if you want to use Premiere Clip, Adobe Spark, Windows Movie Maker, iPhone. If you have actual film camera up in the attic and you've been waiting, this is an opportunity. Who knows? All right, so anything you want to make this happen. So really spread your wings and do what you feel you can do. If by chance you don't know what you can do, start looking up some tutorials now. You still got a couple of weeks. Question.
Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Phone fell.
Besides the fact that, like, Bob just about broke his body while we were talking a second ago, and then Levi is knocking things over.
My phone fell.
I have a question.
So some of you may be thinking, hey, I don't want Tyler in my Pecha Kucha group. He smells like cabbage or whatever.
We
I've
can't
assigned
spell each other.
Yeah, we can't spell each other.
Yeah, well, count your blessings. Okay, so anyways, you may think that of the people that I gave you in your group, you don't like some of them or all of them, but that's fine. Definitely don't let anybody know that. Don't be like, hey, I don't like working with you, but we're going to work together. But instead, get together with your group, email everybody, find a time that's going to be good for everybody. Hey, we know at 10 o'clock we're not going to be working. Can we all get together at 10 o'clock and practice? You'll all go somewhere, whether it's, sharing via FaceTime or some kind of Zoom session or who knows what. Get together and practice on your own. I'm going to ask everybody when and where you practiced, so please be aware of that. But what if I want somebody who's not in my group? Sarah, for instance, may really enjoy meeting with Kennedy Payne or Ryan Cam. And if she's got a connection with those individuals and she would really like to meet with them, you can meet outside your group too. That's fine. But you must meet with your group. Sarah, did you have a question? I didn't
What was
catch it.
that?
Oh, me?
Which one?
Sarah, I didn't catch what you said.
Which one?
Any Sarah. Sarah Vonovich is talking even right now, but I cannot hear her.
Do we have to do a peer review of each person in our group when we're done with the?
No,
Okay.
no. I'm not gonna have you grade each other based on how you did. I will want you to because like there are some of you out there, and I don't know who you are, who might be mortified, terrified, petrified, of the fact that horrified of the fact you might have to talk in person with another human, and that's why you have taken online classes. I'm not going to grade you because you have stage fright. That's not fair. Josh Terrell has a question. What's up, Josh? What's your question?
Yeah. Are we going to have to like post this online or anything like that, or is it just going to be just the MP4 be submitted?
Whatever it is you guys do together stays with you. If you guys want to get together and have a fuss out dockery session, that's fine.
Cool.
Some of you are like shaking your hands now. But just however you guys practice with one another, make a plan together and do that. You don't have to grade one another. You don't have to show me, but I'm going to see the end product. So if the end product is El Stinko, and then I look and see that you guys said you studied for 4 hours, that might be a fib. So I'll just try to look for that.
Well, the actual presentation you want us to upload to YouTube, though, correct? So that we can share the link?
That's correct. But it can be not a private, but it can be unlisted. Private
Okay,
means
that's what I
no
was
one
wondering
can
about.
see it. Unlisted means anybody with the URL can see it, and that person will be me.
Cool.
What if we just made it public?
It's fine too.
Um,
That's 100% A-okay.
are we gonna be able to get our portfolios back so we can edit them and resubmit them for the final?
100% yes. You may not have been in here while I was talking about that. 20 people, give or take, maybe 21, have been fully reviewed as of 5 o'clock today. 9 of you are still only with 1 review.
Okay.
So not all the online portfolios are in, but I think you guys can kind of wait a bit on that.
So since the online portfolio is 35% of our grade,
Your online portfolio is 20% of your grade.
Okay. So are we gonna get the results through Blackboard or email?
Through Blackboard, I will send you the clip. People have looked through and reviewed your work and given you feedback on a page-by-page, item-by-item basis.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you have received lots of feedback, some of you not so much.
Is that bad?
And this is all going to just kind of come in at the same time.
Yes, I will try to deliver. I'll probably try to deliver some of those tonight, but the ones who are fully done should get them tomorrow. Okay. How many times should I practice my Pecha Kucha presentation, and how should I do it? Hold on a second. Good night, sweetheart. I want you to have a great evening. I'm going to be thinking about you.
That's so cute.
No, don't. That's
That
not,
was so
Wait a minute.
beautiful.
Wait a minute. I need you to say something like that to me every time I'm about to leave the class.
That is.
okay.
We're going to have anxiety attack.
I'll start tonight,
Thinking
Levi.
about you.
You're a special guy, and I feel very deeply about you and your ability to go out and make yourself a success. You're going to make all of us proud, and I'm proud of you.
Oh, goodness.
Not starting right now, starting a long time ago, buddy. All right.
All right.
So, how many times should I practice my Pecha Kucha presentation? You want to be fluent with it. You want to feel good. In the past, when you could go places, I asked people to write a script and then to read the script to themselves until they felt they could like turn it over and say the whole script.
Man,
Then I would have them pick up their phone and record the script and then play it while they drive. You guys may not be driving anywhere.
Driving.
Man,
You
you're
may not
talking
be driving anywhere, but you could play it to yourself while you're in the bathroom or waiting for the microwave to get done, or I don't know, whenever you might have 2 minutes of spare time. So something to think about. You want to have an intro where we get to know you. Hi, my name is Tyler Dockery. Hi, my name is Tyler Dockery. This is some of my best work. Thank you very much for looking at this today, and I'd like to show you how I can help you and your business step up and stand out.
Is there a length limit to this video that we have to make?
Yeah, 20 seconds per section.
No,
So,
well, I
for
mean,
instance,
right, but you're saying there needs to be an introduction too, so obviously it's going to be longer than 20 seconds.
Your introduction is going to be 15 seconds to 20 seconds. Most
Okay.
of you probably get done in 10.
Okay.
So it just depends on how much you want to be out in front of everybody.
And you need to present all of your pieces in your portfolio, or no?
Yes, you need to present 8 pieces. And then when you're done, you need to say thank you to the people who stayed. And it doesn't have to be anything real long. Just be like, thank you very much for looking at my portfolio. My name is Tyler Dockery. If you saw something you'd like, I'd love to talk with you. Please have a great day.
Gotcha.
You could fade out and have your contact information stay behind.
Oh, fancy.
So whatever it is that you want. When the presentation's over, people can look at information all day. But when you're talking, you don't want them letting loose and reading something. That would be bad.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, so before we go on to this next section, do you guys have any questions? What kind of questions can I answer you about the Pecha Kucha?
Do we have a submission deadline time like we did for the portfolio?
Sure, it's going to be due in week 15.
Mm.
I will probably make
Next
it
week.
later in the week just to make it easier on everybody.
Okay.
So it'll probably be due the Thursday of week 15 instead of the Tuesday. And I think that will be the normal end of the semester for this course. So first week of May.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries. Any other questions about Pecha Kucha?
Do
And if you
people
don't have them,
actually
we can tack them on the
use
end.
these in presentation, like interviews and things? Like, is this something that's going to be practical? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
you walk into an interview and you're like, hey, watch this.
You could. It depends kind of on where you're standing. One of the problems we've had with the Pecha Kucha in the past is you present it and then nothing happens. So maybe you forget it or you get nervous. A lot of people turn them into their elevator speech, which is like a short little thing that you say to somebody from the ride from the lobby up to the 3rd floor before your interview, where you talk to them. You could take this video when we're all said and done, and you could post it on a YouTube channel if you have one. You could take this and make a YouTube channel for your business, either freelance or whatever. You could take this and upload it to SlideShare. You could post it on your personal website. You could post it on social media. You could create a little interview in a box and give that to people before you show up.
Yeah, it could be like your trailer for your portfolio, I guess. Yeah.
So chances are very likely between now and 1 year from now, you'll create, if you go out and get a job, you will create so much great stuff that the pieces that you're creating now will just be a small taste of everything you can bring to bear. And it's going to be fantastic. All right, so I want to talk just real quickly about portfolio, and then I'll open the floor. And any questions that you have about Pecha Kucha can also be addressed there. All right, so the first question I have here is, I failed. My portfolio failed, so now what? If you are someone who received a failing grade on your portfolio, it's not really the end of the game. There is a possibility that if you do well on your Pecha Kucha presentation, that could buoy your score a little bit. It's possible that if you make changes to your portfolio, that could raise it a letter grade. You might go from an F to a D. And all of these things might allow you to push yourself over into the, and I'm not going to point out anybody that it might be. But anytime that this happens, it may not be the end of the game. Okay, we did have some opportunities out there. And just because you get a low score doesn't mean it's over. And if you do get a score that is so low that you cannot pass, you are really faced with one of two options. You can just kind of like back away and lick your wounds until you feel better, or you can try to figure out what went wrong, how you're going to fix it for next time, and spend some time between then and now where you do go out and get a job. You do continue to finish up all the classes that you need for your degree, and you do push yourself to be ready for that final confrontation next year. We've never had a person who has failed and come back and failed again. So just a heads up about that. All right, what if the online portfolio suggestions that I've been given cannot be implemented? Somebody looking at your portfolio might tell you that the project that you've made is not good and it needs to be pulled. Perhaps you can do 10 or 15 more things with this. If that does happen to be the case, gosh, we're running out of time already. If that does happen to be the case, then you can just forget that advice, or you can pull that piece from your portfolio, or just determine what made it bad and try to fix that. Not everything will be doable. So for instance, if I told Bianca that I really wanted to see a shopping cart in her website, she may not be able to implement that between now and, when she goes to her first interview. Not everything is possible. So just kind of pick and choose what you can do. What if my reviewer was really nice and I want to reach out to them? What if my reviewer was a great big jerk and I definitely want to reach out to that person? First of all, it's always nice to thank those people. Remember, their main job is not to kick you. Their main job is just to remind you that people in the field are looking for these kinds of things. And if you didn't make them, they want you to know now so that you don't show up in a meeting dressed to the nines with a portfolio that needs some serious help. And if you talk too haughty, that's pretty much the end of the interview. If you liked your reviewer, they may give us some information. Talk to us. Your professors will find that information and get you in touch with them if the reviewer's open to it. Most of them will be, so just be aware. I didn't like the grade that I received, and I want to raise my grade for the final PDF. What do you mean by document changes? First of all, let's say, for instance, Tyler Dockery got a D minus, just barely squeezed by. One of the things that I might do is I might keep one version of my portfolio and then a text document where I say on 4/15, it said that they didn't like the nude picture of me on the cover. So I have moved it down and cropped out everything, below the pot belly. So I look much, more svelte. Say what it is, say what changes you've made, because it might be that in looking at 30 portfolios, we forget what the responses are. So if you see it and it says there's spelling and grammatical errors, you might say, April 15th, I did a spell check and I changed 37 words. Then I went to Grammarly.com and I changed all the sentences that were that showed poor grammar. And just kind of make a little note of all the things that you changed. I had a note here that said that the shadows didn't line up. So I turned off all the shadows and I changed the configuration so they were all going in the same direction, like there was a singular light source.
Do you want those in? Do you want the changes in a separate like portfolio document with like a different underscore?
Yeah, you'll probably turn in your print portfolio and then the changes portfolio and then the change document.
Okay.
So I can look at one and I can have the two of them up in tabs and go through them and see what changes you've made.
And if we made a good grade, but we wanted to get like a better grade, could we still go back and make changes?
Yes. So you can raise your grade up to 1 letter grade. So, Bianca might get a 98. She's trying to raise it to 100. She might make changes in there and see. Sorry about blabbing your grade to everybody.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I just picked a number. I just picked a person. This is not a FERPA violation. Don't tell your senator. So somebody may look at their grade and say, I think I would like to get a boost, but I can't make all of these changes. Maybe I can make some and get a little bit of a grade boost. That's perfectly doable.
Okay.
You won't be able to get a whole bunch. And what happens if you fix your portfolio and 3 of your pieces are totally awesome and 5 of your pieces are missing when you turn it in? Do you think you can raise your grade, a letter grade?
No.
No, you won't have 8 pieces in your portfolio, and so you will fail. So I would consider, if you want to work holistically, that's fine, but try to fix 1 piece at a time until you feel comfortable. Now, I apologize. Once again, I don't know how I've done it. I've talked for 35 minutes straight, and there's about 5 more minutes for question and answer.
Okay.
But if people don't feel like they've gotten enough time, I will open this up again. What kind of questions do you guys have?
One question I do have about the Pecha Kucha is that the team that you assign, they're just for practicing, correct?
Just for practicing.
Okay. I was going to say, or are we filming with them or what?
Nope.
Okay.
No
just
connection whatsoever.
Okay.
It's just sometimes it's better to practice with a person.
Makes sense, yeah.
Makes sense.
You might screw up and someone's like, hey, have you thought about saying we are a good team instead of we am good team? I'd be like, yeah, but I just got confused. Time was running out, and that's fine. So just kind of work together to lift each other up.
I see. Thank you.
Any other questions about PDF portfolios at the end of the semester? Print portfolio grades coming out? Pecha Kucha?
So since we just get the print portfolios, the online portfolios aren't completely done yet.
Online portfolios are not done yet. We ran into a couple of issues even just today. So just remember, we had one issue with print portfolios where one person got a D and the other reviewer gave them a 98.
Oh my.
Oh.
And so
very contrasting.
The question was kind of decided, like, do we want to give them a C or a B minus, or do we want to ask a third person to come in and find out, was somebody having a bad day and somebody having a great day? So unfortunately, we had to call in a third reviewer for one portfolio. But a portfolio takes about an hour to grade. So trying to get 80 hours worth of work out of volunteers over the week is occasionally very, very difficult.
I have a question about Pecha Kucha.
Okay.
When you're making a video, I saw the couple sample that they have a monitor behind or TV behind the screen, and they show their work and trying to present. But some of the stuff on the background, it's hard to see. So do you think that it's okay to have a split screen?
So what we have decided is moving forward, you guys are going to make it the way you want to make it. If I was to try to present to you with light behind me, you can't see my face so well. And so you might see with some of those monitors behind the people, it gets really difficult. So if you guys want to read that and maybe have a head in the corner down here, you're welcome to do that. If you want to have your face completely out of the mix and just focus on the work, you can do that.
Okay, so what you're saying is
appear in the introduction and
okay.
you must appear in the outro.
Okay.
Otherwise, people will have no idea who you are.
But other than that, it can be a voiceover?
Yep,
kind of thing?
voiceover with the work is fine.
Okay.
Now, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and also we only have 1 minute.
Okay.
You are all very beautiful people. You're not ugly. Don't worry about being on camera. I'm going to send out a link here in a minute when this recording session is done. And we'll have more Q&A, I promise.
Okay.
It's okay to be on film. You're lovely. You're delightful to be around.
I'm more worried about portfolio right now than being on film.
Oh, we're running out of time. Levi, buddy, keep on keeping strong. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Every Vine, every TikTok.
Oh, yes.
What about you?
All right.
All right,